In this video, we will explore variable scope in PHP. Variable scope refers to the context in which a variable is defined and can be accessed. Understanding variable scope is crucial for writing clean, maintainable, and bug-free code in PHP. Let's dive in to understand how variables can be accessed in different parts of your PHP scripts. Let's discuss local variables first. A local variable is a variable that is defined inside a function. It is only accessible from within that function. Once the function finishes executing, the local variable is destroyed, and its value is no longer available. Consider the example on the screen. We define a function named testLocal. Inside this function, we declare a variable $localvar and assign it the string value I am local. If we try to display the value of $localvar within the function using echo, it works just fine. However, if we attempt to echo $localvar outside the function, PHP will throw an error message stating that the variable is undefined. This is because $localvar is a local variable, and its scope is limited to the testLocal function. Now let's explore global variables. A global variable is a variable that is defined outside of any function. By default, global variables are not accessible from within functions. To access a global variable inside a function, you need to use the global keyword. Take a look at the code on the screen. We declare a global variable $global variable and assign it the string value I am global. Then we define a function called testGlobal. Inside this function, we use the global keyword followed by the variable name $global variable. This tells PHP that we want to use the global version of this variable within the function. Now, when we echo $global variable inside the function, it will correctly output I am global. If we didn't use the global keyword, PHP would treat $global variable as a local variable within the function, and it would not be able to access the global variable with the same name. Let's delve into the globals array, an alternative way to access global variables in PHP. PHP stores all global variables in an array called $globals. You can access global variables from anywhere in your script by using this array. Consider the example presented on the screen. We declare a global variable $global variable and assign it the string value hello world. Then we define a function named useGlobals. Inside this function, we can access the global variable by referencing the $globals array with the variable name as a string key like this: $globals square bracket single quote global variable single quote closing square bracket. This allows us to echo the value of the global variable, which will output hello world. Additionally, we can also create new global variables from within a function by adding them to the $globals array. Here we create a new global variable named newVar and assign it the value newValue. Using the $globals array is a convenient way to work with global variables, especially when you need to access or modify them from within functions. Now let's explore static variables in PHP. Static variables are variables declared within a function that retain their value between multiple calls to that function. Unlike local variables, which are destroyed when the function exits, static variables persist in memory. Let's walk through an example. We define a function called counter. Inside this function, we declare a static variable named $count and initialize it to 0. The static keyword ensures that the variable is only initialized once. Each time the counter function is called, the value of $count is incremented by 1 and then displayed using echo. Notice that the first time we call the function, it outputs 1. The second time it outputs 2, and the third time it outputs 3. This is because the static variable $count retains its value across function calls, allowing it to maintain a running count. Let's take a look at superglobal variables in PHP. Superglobal variables are built-in variables that are always accessible regardless of scope. This means you can use them inside functions, methods, or any other part of your script without needing to declare them as global. Some of the most commonly used superglobal variables are shown on the screen. First, $_get is used to retrieve URL parameters. Second, $_post is used to access form data. Third, $_session is used to manage session variables, and finally, $_cookie is used to access cookie values. Superglobal variables are extremely useful for accessing data that needs to be available throughout your application. Here are some more superglobal variables in PHP. In addition to the ones we've already discussed, PHP provides other superglobal variables that give you access to server and environment information. First, $_server contains information about the server environment, such as the server's name, IP address, and request headers. Second, $_env contains environment variables that are set on the server. Third, $_files is used to handle uploaded files, and finally, $_request contains combined get and post data. These superglobal variables are essential for building robust and dynamic web applications. Now, let's review some best practices for managing variable scope in PHP. To write clean and maintainable code, it's important to use variables appropriately. First, minimize the use of global variables. Global variables can make your code harder to debug and maintain because they can be modified from anywhere in your script. It's better to use them only when absolutely necessary. Second, prefer function parameters. Instead of relying on global variables, pass data explicitly to functions using parameters. This makes your code more modular, easier to test, and less prone to errors. By following these best practices, you can write PHP code that is more organized, readable, and maintainable. If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit CodeLucky.com for more such useful content.